that will be the
I,
first. Oh, okay,
I
cool.
believe you have like 3 minutes per side, right? Just to be clear.
Five
I,
thing.
I thought someone shared 3 minutes.
I shared it and I thought it was five. Let me see. Wait.
It was
Oh,
Oh,
is
5 minutes
it
per
five?
side. 5 minutes per side.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so still five, but I mean, when we say like one per person, I guess everyone will kind of use more time, I feel like. So, yeah. So 5 minutes for affirmative arguments, 5 minutes in total for negative side, and then we will ask question. First, the negative sides asks their three questions to challenge the positive side, and then why also 5 minutes per three sets of questions. I mean, for the set of three questions, and then vice versa, the affirmative side will challenge the negative side with the three questions, also 5 minutes, and then we'll have the closing statement. Each side summarizes the key arguments and presents the final takeaways, and I hope we will be able not to exceed 30 minutes with this. Uh, yeah, and afterwards, to be honest, I'm a little bit unclear what we need to do on Yellow Dig. Did someone figure it out? We need to post something. Oh, the document itself, right? We'll have to complete the document and post it on Yellow Dig. Is that correct?
I think so. I think we just need to post what we thought after the debate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to post our what was that? The document, what was that? Hang on. And then there's on Canvas has a document that says self evaluation or the team evaluation to the yellow
Mm-hmm.
dig.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, so after the debate, we will complete the right our template. We will need to add our questions, the answers to the questions that were raised, and
Mm.
the final, also like as a final, the final statement, right?
Final takeaway.
The
Takeaway.
takeaway, yeah. And once we do that, this is going to be our final document. We will obviously submit it through Canvas, and we'll have to submit it on Yellow Dig. And
Yes.
also comment, I'm reading the task right now, post on Yellow Dig. One team member posts it, and then every team member must read another team's debate and document and provide thoughtful comments by the end of module 5. Oh, but that's not, okay, that's for the next week. Okay. So we posted this week, and we will have 1 week to comment, right, on other teams' debate on Yellow
yeah,
Dig.
and we need to submit it on Canvas. So that's one of the person can submit it on both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the recording is already on, and the transcript is being made from what I can see, right? And we'll be able to save it afterwards. Okay. How are you guys feeling?
Good. I think we can start now if everyone's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, where does it show that the transcript is live? Because I see the recording tab. Just wanted to double confirm of the transcript. Is it live?
Mm-hmm. It is. I
Okay.
clicked transcript in the
Okay.
menu at the bottom of the page of the Zoom app. It shows
Okay.
transcript for me. I can, at least I can see the transcript.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have your green light to start?
yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So, At the moment, as of 9th of November, AGI is a non-existent technology, right? We only know it as a concept. And I think as a concept, it can present both scenarios. It can enhance our human agency or it can undermine it. And it depends on how we use it, how we use this new technology to integrate it into our lives. And my argument is that AGI can act as a powerful co-pilot, and there is a way to include it into our personal or workflows to complement our capabilities rather than replace them. And the key strength of AGI will be the personalization. And with this personal approach, it can give us unique tools and insights so we can make more informed choices, informed decisions. We can shape our life trajectories and still be the ones in the driver's seat. But how can we make sure that we are only using it as a co-pilot and not making it make all the decisions for us? So essentially, it comes down to design and governments. If we build AGI systems that are intentionally designed to be transparent and to keep humans in the loop, we can ensure that they are assisting us rather than taking over. And there are already studies and benchmarks that are being developed, and they focus explicitly on supporting the human agency. And one example that I found is the Human Agency Bench. It's a metric that measures how well AI assistants preserve and promote agency across different dimensions. And this benchmark and these new studies show that the potential for AGI to strengthen human agency isn't just theoretical. It is real, it is measurable, and it is already being put into practice. And that's my argument number one.
Yeah, sounds like makes sense. So I'll continue with argument number 2. Let me open my file. 2 seconds. Okay. Argument number 2 for this position. I made some research, and as per recent results of 2 researchers, the conclusions were access to an AI assistant increased issues resolved per hour by 15% on average. And also the second conclusion was that Gen AI enables human to move from explorative tasks into more creative tasks. And so it is logical that AGI will only increase these numbers because it will be better than current AI. And this leads to the following conclusions. Obviously, more free time for a human to think on more strategic and creative tasks, which is not an option right now because we are more still a lot in operational tasks rather than strategic. Second, AGI ability to manipulate and provide relevant information will require critical analysis and about AGI work and results and implementation of control points. In other words, we will need to be a little smarter than AGI in some way to control it. And the third one, it also seems logical that the volume of work and pace of information flow will only increase. And this will require humans to adapt quicker, to analyze faster, to make bigger and more complex decisions based on a huge volume of data. And this leads to higher responsibility for decisions. And all of the above, which I just mentioned, will mandate for human brain to work more. It will require increased power to make decisions based on our own life experience. Like critical thinking will be critical. And it will require enhanced ability to learn about our goals and through ourselves. Otherwise, Gen AI will easily manipulate it. So this will push the human to think more and to make decisions wisely. That's my second positive argument. I hope I was not on mute. No, I was not. Okay.
You are not.
You're not. Okay. Okay, and then I will start with my third argument that the AGI, if you chose AGI, if you're choosing AI as a tool, you're basically choosing the freedom, because we gain more time to explore our new possibilities, whether it is starting um our business and engaging the artist creation. It's also presuming the work or presuming the work cannot be replaced by AI. So my argument is life is short. So if you chose AI, it will have more time to do something else. Okay. By leveraging AI to generate more incomes, we can use extra time to do ourselves to do something that what we truly love. Okay. So we are no longer need to prove by setting ourselves freedom, we no longer need to prove our value through labor alone. Instead, our creativity, innovation, and even our presume our self-worth will define us. So in my view, the greatest improvement that brought by AI is not just efficiency or financial gain, but it will be the gift of more time to pursue, and it will demonstrate who we are and what we can achieve. So I believe AI is will elevate more people to a higher level of thinking about why we will be a human being and who make what makes us who we are, and then helping us to realize that there is more life than just work. Okay, that's my argument.
Thank you, Sue. I think it's a strong one.
Yeah, to live our
Yeah.
lives.
So these are our three positive arguments on the affirmative side, and we'll be happy to hear the negative side now.
All right. On the negative side, I'll say first, unfortunately, the human brain works in a different way. Research has showed, and this is something that was done some time ago in London, where we started using GPS. The human brain adjusts if you use it. If you use it, you're going to have the capability to use it. If you don't use it, you end up losing your capability. And this happened when people started using GPS back then. And that happens in as little as 90 days. Uh, Secondly, you also end up losing your ability to think creatively, come up with solutions to novel problems. The biological neurocircuits that you rely on to think end up weakening if you don't use them. Also, we have seen this happen before when people overly rely on systems. It becomes impossible to intervene when the systems are working. So if something goes wrong, you never know. This happened back in 2009 on the tragic crash of Air France Flight 447, where pilots were unable to override the autopilot system, which was one of the early forms of artificial intelligence. And fortunately, the flight ended up crashing. So the bottom line of this is you need to think to be able to think. If you delegate your thinking to a system, you're going to lose your own thinking. Thank you. Let's go to Muhammad.
All right. So I'm going to focus on the concentration of power and the societal disempowerment. So while AGI promises progress, it also creates a massive threat to human agency by concentrating power in the hands of the few. Developing AGI isn't something anyone can do. It requires a huge amount of data, money, technology. That means only large governments and tech giants will control it. And if AGI is built by them, then a small number of tech giants and wealthy nations will have control over it. It will deepen global inequality and shift political power away from the public. We're already seeing signs of this today. Like if we look at the platforms like Google and Meta control what billions of people see and believe through their algorithms. But that's just the beginning. With AGI, this influence could extend on public policies, national security, and even democratic decision making. Instead of being governed by human elected leaders, we can be governed by the opaque system designed by corporations or governments with their own agendas. So that's the danger. Isn't just a job loss or automation, it's an automation of power itself. So if AGI is controlled by a few, most of us will lose the ability to shape our own future. That's why this isn't just a tech debate, it's a fight to protect human agency as a right, not a privilege. Going on towards Alan to discuss the third point.
Yes, thank you, Mohammed. So our last and final point has to deal with, the subtle manipulation of preferences and behavior. Now we know that unlike traditional tools, AGI systems are way more capable of processing huge volumes of data in real time, and if you combine this with predictive algorithms, it can be able to quickly forecast user behavior and ultimately shape the way we make decisions. And basically, this is a very, very huge threat to us. It's a very huge threat because, on one hand, this actually, as a result of AGI pushing this kind of system where we are given curated content or interactions, we are actually led to believe that we do have the power of making our own decisions, that we are actually making real-time decisions for our own benefit. Meanwhile, our decisions are pretty much a product of recommendations that have been provided by, AGI systems. Now, this is going to be very, 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 very dangerous because also on the other hand, like I've mentioned, this will conceal this influence of decision making as beneath a venue of personalization. Now, another example that we also provided has to deal with a good example that we provided has to deal with online stores. Think about the way online stores push recommendations to their users, and this is basically thanks to them using a lot of data on particular customers to push them to buy a couple of products or even try them on, with the ultimate goal of influencing customers to purchase these particular products. Another good example will probably also be on politics, which Mohammed has also touched base on, in a way that AGI could be able to curate the kind of content that it can push to certain groups of people who basically have a particular type of ideology. And this can basically be used to, create echo chambers, all right? And these are the kind of ideologies that sometimes even they bypass a rational debate. And these are just a few tactics that, AGI could use to influence and also manipulate human decision making, which is going to be a very, very huge threat. And last but not least, like I mentioned, at the end of the day, this will just give us an illusion that look, we are able to make our own decisions, that we are in control of our own destinies. And the question that we should actually ask ourselves is that to what extent can AGI basically influence human choices? Because right now, a good example is AI. A lot of people are using recommendations that have been developed by AI, and we believe that this will be further exacerbated when AGI is live. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you
Negative
for-
Side, for your arguments. So, do you have any questions to the affirmative side.
I do have a question, so I'll just write it in a document in case, like, if someone wants to read the question again. So it's basically along these lines, how do we guarantee that, AGI will remain a co-pilot and not like quietly become a decision maker?
Okay, I guess that yeah, I think I'll take
Yeah.
that one. So yeah, you're right saying, I guess you're saying that it can become the decision maker for us because we communicate with it a lot, right? And it will have a lot of capabilities, human-like capabilities, right, to make the decisions for us. And it is true, it is more capable in processing data, but speed and accuracy doesn't mean authority, right? And humans have always created machines, right? Other tools that are, I don't know, faster, smarter, stronger than we are, like cars, for example, right? They go faster, but it doesn't mean that we lose our ability to walk, right? So if we remain the ones in control, if we are the ones who are setting our goals, we are the ones who making the decisions, the co-pilot model can be a great supporter and helper, uh, and it will still with if it develops the ability to give us the transparent results of their work, to show us how they solve the problems or how they help us with our life situation. So if the transparency is there and if they're still keeping us in the loop, I think we will be able to just use it as a support to our cognitive function and not replace it in general.
Okay.
Thank you. I do have another question. So Vladimir touched on the concept of strategic tasks, right? So we basically leverage AI to help us, do the menial tasks that are very time consuming and they don't really um, play a huge part in our overall success in our professions. And we basically have sufficient time to, tackle strategic tasks. However, one of the biggest concerns that I do have, and I think also my team members have, is what exactly does strategic tasks entail? Okay, there is no clear definition of strategic tasks, and I know that it could be different from industry to industry, but I think it's a word that has been, pretty much abused right now. As in, all right, you use the AI to just focus on menial tasks so that you can have enough time to deal with more strategic tasks that can help you, succeed professionally. So, what exactly do you mean by strategic tasks? All right, and also on the other hand, if for example, AGI, right? With the introduction of AGI, will be able to perform these strategic tasks, right? Hence, on one hand, it will basically be a huge threat, to the labor force worldwide. What is your take on that? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good question. I'll start from the end. No, from the what are strategic tasks exactly? That's all the tasks which can answer on the question why. Why we are doing these tasks? Why we are asking AGI to perform simple operational tasks? So AGI will have ability to learn. Yes, it will have ability to analyze better than AI right now. Yes, but can AGI will not do it for why. The only why AGI will have is that our request. So human request and request, what means strategic request? It's like you need to, I don't know, to create a table with data about, like we did in our course, one of the first tasks about like consumer for who is buying coffee. It can be done by human, and it will take a lot of time to create each column, to enter data manually, and so on. So AGI will do it for us. This I mean by operational tasks. It takes a lot of time for us and not a lot for them, but we request them to do it for reason. So we are thinking on reasons. We will be thinking on reasons, and this is a strategic task. To think on reasons, not to just to do what others told us to do. For example, my boss can tell me, please do, I don't know, file a lot of papers in this binder, and I'll go and do this. I will do operational task. It will not require me to think a lot. But with AGI, I'll ask him, if it is a robot, yeah, to do it, and I'll think about why I'm asking him to do and what else I can do to make it more productive, for example. So that's what I meant. And the second question was about basically a huge threat. On labor force, yeah. Here is I can't say for sure, and of course no one can say about threat to labor, but the statistics of previous waves of technology rise told us that with the appearance of some IT services, with some more automatic services, the number of places for IT people and such people only raised. With the rise of technology, the rise of the jobs just raised. So just based on these statistics, I can say that this wave of new era of technology will also require other special. I don't know the exact jobs, but the statistics said that with this growth, we still will the number of jobs should grow just because it happened before when internet appeared, when IT started to highly develop. And this happened before, so that's why I think it might be a threat, but based on previous waves of rise, it should only add jobs for us.
Thank you. I don't know if the rest of my team members have any other questions.
No further questions. I think you asked two already, Alan. And
I'll ask one more, and let's keep it short since we have like 7 minutes left. So it's just quite a typical question. It was basically on what Alan discussed. So like, the AGI personalized like insights like based on our data. How do we prevent from shaping our preference instead of like empowering them?
I think I can
Okay.
yeah, I'll start, Vladimir, if you don't mind. And you can, yeah, you can add your points. So, about shaping preferences, I think it is a valid question, but it's not new, right? Because we already have people in our lives that can shape our preferences, our relatives, our coworkers, opinion leaders, bloggers, right? They are there, and every day we either get their opinions or we seek for their recommendations, right? And the question still stands: how do we make sure that all of this people or technologies, AGI included, how they can influence us? And I think the question is the same for all of this. Not the question, the answer is the same. We just need to set our values straight. We need to know what we're interested in. We need to set our filters and to make sure that we only get what we need from people around us or from technologies. and leave everything else that's not needed behind, only based on our internal compass.
Yeah, I wanted to say the same.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and about manipulations, and we can like gradually come to our questions about manipulations that were mentioned. That how do we know that we are not manipulated? It's the same story as right now. How can we ensure, be sure that currently go into a car shop, or I don't know, to any shop, or read in the newspaper, we are not manipulated by the author or by the marketing department or by the sailor. There are some manipulation techniques, and the same will be with GI. They are, they can be identified. We will need to learn how to do it. And the question here, do you think it will be harder than right now? Why do you think it will be negative or more negative than right now? These manipulations, because they obviously exist right now, but do you think they will be enhanced and we will not resist?
So I'll just give a short answer for this. So basically, when you said about manipulation and how it's a current standard, it's quite a typical trend of how manipulation is happening in the current era, and you can expect it from the AGI as well. We can't blame as AGI will be the main lead for this, but we should keep in mind, like the regulations and everything. You have law and order. There are some standards set. Where when it comes to AGI, when you're starting something new, a new project or something, I feel it should be side by side. The legals, the authority and everything should be considered while building it and while using it. I feel like when a new advancement, anything that takes place, and then we are struggling and trying to figure out that, this is the regulation we need to work on, this is how we're going to control it. So ideally, it should happen side by side on how we can optimize and how we can use it effectively. Uh, so if we start comparing, like, that, like it's currently happening, it does make sense. But at the same time, we should know that there are regulations for them to stop that. But for AGI, when a next step has been taken or any initiative is taken, I feel it should be side by side. It's in a company also. When you work in a company, there are legal concerns, everything. And like if you launch a product in a company also, before the launching, they ensure that, from the legal perspective, from every perspective is taken into consideration from the compliance side, and then a product is launched. So I feel that's one of my concerns for AGI.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're right that legal and data protection policies should be there in
And
place.
transparent for everyone. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's move on to the questions to the negative side. So, Vladimir, did you wanna
I
start?
thought it was mine. That was mine. That was mine.
I think I was wondering if we should restart a new meeting and then start or
Yeah, I think so. We're done with one question like Valdemar had asked. Maybe we can ask one more, like finish the negative section here, and then we can do the last summarize in a separate section, maybe combine the videos.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I have asked my question. So next question.
okay. So I was wondering you guys worry about like the risk of dependency, right? But the history of human civilization is literature, a history of rely on Tor, just like our calculation and our internet and the televisions or the advertisement. And the question is, have this Tor waking us as our ability to, make our life better, or there in fact is freed our brain and then help us to engage in more higher level thinking.
Okay, I'll answer that one too.
Sorry, one more. It's like, is it AGI? Is it just a more adventure tour, or is just make any difference?
All right. So, unlike tools that we have specifically designated as tools to help us navigate the world, AGI is coming to complement our thinking. We use the internet, but it requires a fairly good amount of brain power to navigate it. This has the potential to replace human thinking. So that's why it's different from the tools that we've been using previously, which is information technology and so on.
So the key question is not about AGI itself, it's about how we decide it and how we use it, right?
That's right.